Hey everyone, I'm Jessie Sousa. I'm a career and leadership coach based in Canada. I am filming this video today to talk to you about the 3 biggest lessons that I've learned as a coach so far. I am a newer coach. If that resonates with any of you, I went through about a year of an accredited coaching program to be certified as a coach. And I've probably been coaching just over 6 months now. And I think there's a lot of value in being coached by someone who has recently gone through a rigorous training and certification program, because you learn and adapt these new skills or upgrade your skills, so to speak. Being a coach is one of those things where you are on a lifelong journey of professional development. And that's what I love about being a new coach. So I'm kind of savoring this time for myself, and hopefully being able to share some of those valuable lessons is going to help you along your journey as well. So thanks for being here. Sit back, relax, and let's dive into the 3 biggest lessons that I've learned as a coach so far. Lesson number 1, there is so much power and transformational change that happens in the silence. I bet that makes a couple of people really uncomfortable. That was me. I hated the awkward silence. I hated the pause. The pause felt impossible to me. But transformational change and true discovery or inner wisdom comes out in the silence. I recently read this quote that was absolutely perfect for this exact subject. The quote is, "Silence is not the absence of something, but the presence of everything." That truly summarizes why it's so important to take the time to pause and be silent during a coaching session. Just purely holding space for someone is enough, and understanding that you exchanging your time and energy for someone to fully access any kind of wisdom or creativity that they're looking for is enough. You don't need to fill the void in every opportunity that you have. When I first started coaching or first started going through my certification program, I thought that as a coach, you needed to be on all the time. You needed to fill every moment of silence, be the ultimate advice giver. Boy, was I wrong. I had no idea at the time how powerful the silence is to a client and how powerful the pauses are for that true transformation. So of course, there are endless tools and tricks and skills required to be a coach. However, a huge part of coaching is purely just listening from an unbiased lens and allowing someone to access everything that they need within themselves. A friend and a fellow coach recently told me about a transformational experience that she had in a coaching session, and that included her having a lot of pauses and silence and space. And she literally turned to me and said, "I could have very well been speaking to the speaker." Now, she wasn't devaluing coaches or the industry. Heck, she is one herself. She was purely just stating that she really needed that open container and space and environment to express herself freely and openly without any interruption or disruption. And that allowed her to find what she needed to make a truly transformational change in her life. So in other words, get comfortable with the awkward silence, sit in it until it's no longer awkward, and you will literally go from being a good coach to a world-class amazing coach. Let's go make a quick beverage before we move on to lesson number 2. I normally drink matcha, but I've been having some tummy trouble, so I'm actually gonna have a coffee today. I don't have any more decaf Nespresso pods, so I'm gonna have to make myself a pot of coffee, which I'm sure is fine for Mike. Regular potted coffee. Might make it a little extra and add some cinnamon. Here we go. Do not mind my drawer organization. I think the home edit would be ashamed, but this is it. So I need these. This really old, stunning, aesthetically pleasing, oh my gosh, that's hard to do, coffee maker. Oh, somebody already made his, and it's, oh, okay, this is gross. Hang on a second. We fancy this morning. We so fancy. Little Folgers, some Costco cinnamon. How cute. My old coffee machine. see if I can do this with one hand. I feel like it's gonna be absolutely impossible, but let's try. Oh, can't even find the spoon. How many cups should I make? I'm terrible at making coffee. I used to get my dad to do it because it always tastes better when he did it for me. Anyway, I feel like I'll see you when it's done. This is hard work. Okay, scrap that. Let's see if I can make this beautiful. Oh, no. No, no. Little cinnamon. Ooh, is that a lot? Oof, we'll find out. Let's do this. I need water now. I give people a lot of credit who like do unboxing and things like that because honest to goodness, this is actually really hard. Anyway, coffee's getting ready. The sounds you're hearing are this mad machine right here. She's a loud one. Anyway, gotta have clean dishes, you know? Our house honestly looks so messy sometimes when I film, but I promise you it's not that bad. These are just little cloths from wiping my son's face after he eats because he's not even 2. Anywho, honestly, ignore the background noise of the dishwasher. For anyone who has like chronic acid reflux, I have a hiatus hernia in my esophagus, so I have to take acid reflux medication. Literally, like, this is a mind thing, but like looking at the regular coffee makes me feel like I have heartburn already. Because normally I try to skip as much caffeine as I can. Mind you, I've been having matcha and that has a lot of caffeine, but why a lot? I don't know. It has caffeine. But yeah, it's been giving me the worst like bloat. So I gotta figure that out. Okay, my coffee's done. I don't love it. It's fine, but it does taste better when someone else makes it for you. I won't lie. I'm back in my office, which is in my bedroom. For those of you who were transitioned from an office 9 to 5 to a work from home 9 to 5 during the pandemic, know the struggle of finding a quiet workspace with a door where you can have meetings in privacy in your home. I have 2 children. We have a split level home. There's only 1 additional bedroom space. And during the pandemic, for part of it anyway, I was on maternity leave. So my husband took over the downstairs space. We've talked about sharing it. We've talked about everything. And anyway, where I've ended up is in our bedroom. It works for me, honestly. The only real issue, or not an issue, more of a weirdness, is that when I'm in a meeting or I'm on a call, you can see my bed in the background. Sometimes I blur it out, sometimes I don't, depends on my mood. So yeah, anyway. So I'm here to talk to you about lesson number 2. Your biggest flex as a coach is to be as curious as possible. Another solid quote from Tom Morris: "The greatest gift you can give someone is your interest." I hold that close to my heart. The more curious you are in a coaching conversation, the more the other person feels seen, heard, understands, and can visually see that you are listening from an unbiased lens. You are absorbing everything that they are saying. You are fully getting curious to dive deeper and deeper and deeper into their topic and their measure of success in order to come out on top with a transformational change at the end of it. If you are a newer coach and you're nervous going into a coaching session, much like I am still, at the start of every session, I have a page of notes that I keep for every client so that I'm able to make sure that I jot down different things that jump out at me, different points, different topics, different measures of success that I make sure to keep on hand so that I keep my eye on the prize throughout the conversation. That allows me to get more and more curious. But at the top of every page, I literally write down, get curious, or be curious, or stay curious. Dig into your curiosity. I literally write that out at the top of every single page so I don't forget. Not that it's something that's hard to forget, but when you're a person who gets in their head a lot, or you're focusing on focusing and you really want to listen with your authentic lens on, I just write it down. That way, when I glance over at my paper to take any notes at all, I'm reminded, stay curious, get curious, dig into what this person is telling you. Allow them to dig into their inner wisdom by asking them the most powerful questions you can. Another thing that comes more naturally to you when you are just super, super curious are the most powerful questions. It's a game changer. Lesson number 3. Having proper training is the key to mastering this craft. Anybody at all can be a coach or classify themselves as a coach. And I don't love this idea, but I don't hate it either. There are a lot of brilliant people out there who have a lot of intuition and a lot to give, but they just haven't received coach training. On the other hand, do I think everyone should have it at some point in their career? Yes, and I'll tell you why. Going through a coach certification ensures that you know the difference between coaching, consulting, teaching, therapy, and so on and so on. It makes sure that you understand how to practice safely. It also allows you to understand how you want to classify yourself, so whether it be a coach or a hybrid of 2 or 3 different things, if you want to do a little bit of teaching with coaching or consulting on the side, mentoring, and so on. Now, I went through coach training with the Mind Rebel Academy, which is an ICF accredited coaching program. What that means is that the International Coaching Federation has created a set of standards and ethics that coaches should abide by and follow, and the Mind Rebel Academy goes off of that model. I believe that having the code of ethics within your wheelhouse is just imperative to practicing safely. The Mind Rebel Academy as well was just a phenomenal place to learn how to do that and incorporate that into your coaching practice. One of the biggest reasons why I think it is so important to have the proper training behind you is the idea that you are surrounded by like-minded people. You are immediately engulfed in a community of coaches or like-minded individuals who are aspiring to be coaches or consultants, and this space allows you to grow exponentially. They're a group of people who are committed to personal development, they're committed to lifelong learning, they're committed to keeping their skills up to par. So immediately you're in a space that inspires growth and community, motivation, proper tactics and skills, and so on and so on. That brings me to one of my most favorite quotes, most favorite sayings. You are the sum of the 5 people that you surround yourself with. This applies in the exact same context. Before joining this coaching program, I didn't know anyone else who wanted to be a coach or who was a coach, to be honest. And although there are people now in my life that have come forth and said, I am a coach, or I'm an aspiring coach, or I have this training and background behind me, I didn't know until I joined it myself. And what a difference that makes. You feel so fully supported. Essentially, when you're surrounded by those people, it has an impact on your thoughts, your attitude, your behavior, your values. It ultimately shapes who you are and who you become as a person. I truly believe that by joining the Mind Rebel Academy, it allowed me to fully step into the person that I am meant to be and the person that I am meant to become. It allowed me to be my full, authentic self without any judgment or fear. It was the safest space ever to learn a craft that I believe I'm going to grow into over time, over my lifetime. Taryn, who is the owner of the Mind Rebel Academy, often says, a coach isn't what you do, it's who you become. And I truly, truly, truly believe that. And within that group of women, truly created a container where I was able to feel entirely comfortable being who I am to my core. It was the first time in my life that I felt that comfortable to do that. This brings me to my last point for lesson number 3, which is confidence. Having the solid background and proper training allowed me to feel confident going into my first sessions with clients. I truly feel like that was priceless. I couldn't imagine coaching people without the proper training, knowing how to hold space for someone properly. It gave me the best vote of confidence and motivation I could have ever asked for. So yeah, there's a summary, the 3 biggest things I've learned as a coach so far. If you like this video and you want to see more just like it, feel free to like this video or subscribe to my channel. It helps my channel grow and be seen within that space. And as always, if you're interested in coaching or having a one-on-one session, head on over to my website. I've provided the link below and you can book a discovery call today. Have a wonderful day, everybody.